fundraising numbers for Republicans in July haven't come out yet. Many are expecting a boost following the RNC in Milwaukee. Here to break it down is Kelly Loeffler, one of President Trump's major fundraisers, who has also served as a Republican senator from the great state of Georgia. Senator Loeffler, good morning.
Good morning, Nick. Great to be with you.
Good to have you here. Senator Loeffler, talk to me about the fundraising and the RNC. It seems as though everything was on fire last week. It was energetic. People were happy to be there. Now with Joe Biden no longer on the top of the tickets, are Republicans concerned over finding a new strategy to go after Kamala Harris? What do you think the party should focus on leading up to November?
Well, Nick, you could see last week we have our strategy, and our strategy is to continue to grow the conservative movement behind President Trump, and it is growing. You saw the electricity in the air, literally, in that event. But leading into it, when you had the assassination attempt of President Trump, you saw the country come together and support him in ways that they had not seen his strength for a long time. The media does not cover him in that way, but that's who he is. They saw him literally stand up and say, fight for America. And that's what this movement's about. We had Nikki Haley supporters. Nikki Haley spoke at the convention. It's a broad and growing coalition, and it's really a realignment of the Republican Party to working class voters, because President Trump's America First agenda is one that puts the American people, not big government, first. And they're going to hear more and more about Kamala Harris's agenda, which is a continuation of the failed policies of the last 4 years that Americans across this country, and certainly right here in Georgia, are suffering from.
Right, Ms. Loeffler, you're absolutely right. Not only did Haley speak, Rubio spoke, DeSantis spoke. All of his former rivals took to the stage to talk about why unity was so important. Ms. Loeffler, should Republicans be concerned over Trump picking, say, J.D. Vance as his running mate? Many have said he was a safe choice to go up against Biden, but now we're seeing reports that some Republicans are already having doubts about Mr. Vance just days after he was nominated.
Well, I certainly haven't heard the doubts, but I also know that J.D. Vance is a great pick to lead under President Trump, because look who J.D. Vance is. He is from the forgotten men and women of America. That's who the RNC's platform, that's who President Trump's platform was dedicated to solving these problems with common sense policies that lift every American up from every walk of life. That's what we hear in Georgia. We're talking to a diverse coalition of groups. I'm meeting with Black pastors later today. We were registering members of the Hispanic community at supermercados. Their top concerns are the cost of living, finding good jobs, having gasoline prices go down from the 40% increase that we've had under President Biden, closing the border and having safety and security in their communities. And J.D. Vance is the right person to help President Trump implement his America First agenda and grow our coalition and bring more of those low propensity working men and women out to get involved in this movement.
Ms. Loeffler, last question for you, and I have to let you go. 2024, November, will Georgia be red or blue?
Georgia's a red state. We have it in the numbers. We see that Kamala Harris is lagging President Trump in Georgia by 5 points. Biden was lagging by 3. Nonetheless, Kamala Harris has been here 5 times this year, and they've outspent President Trump 5-1. So it's not looking good for Kamala Harris, but it's looking great for America. It's looking great for Georgia in November.
Kelly Loeffler, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you. Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.